a couple of things with you that you may or may not have or know. So Ryan's getting my clicker. And that's only going to help on the PowerPoint thing, but go to the essential letter first. So we give everybody a chance. I don't know if you guys, can you read that, everybody? Is it too small?
They're on mute.
Like
it's too small, right, Jay?
It's what?
It's too small.
It's too, yeah, and it's in English, so.
I got it in your text message.
It's fine.
Okay, good. So I just want everybody to read that we did apply in North Carolina to become considered an essential business to stay open, and we were approved. And so, you know, if anyone wants a copy of that, if I didn't already send it out through text, I can, and you can print it or just show it, whatever. But so that's saying that we are still allowed to operate here. I've been asked by a lot of people, you know, is that something that, are we essential? So, but I've always thought we were essential. And now that just proves it. So the next thing I was going to show you, I just got to locate that sucker. Ryan, which corner is it in? The PP. The PowerPoint. Which corner?
Right. Everything of yours is the bottom right.
Underneath.
Underneath, Irma.
I got you. So that. All right, cool. It can go wrong. Here we are today. Stop. Yep. Okay, so we did this the other night. You know, we had that mystery night contest up during March, and these are our winners, the people who won the mystery night. We had those 5 people won it, and Louis, you're on there, and we are going to go. We just have not determined the dates and the location. Right now, mystery night's a mystery to me, but we are going to go. So our plan didn't work out for the last one due to the coronavirus, but we're going to figure it out. I just want you to know it's still on my mind, and we're still going to do it. And you know, we had the GoPro contest up during March 2, where 8 people won that to go racing with us at the GoPro. So here's the winners on that one. So those are the 8 people who won that. And we are going to do that as well. All right. We just are going to have to reschedule right now. The GoPro will not allow a gathering of more than 10 people either. So we hate to split the group up. So we just want to wait till we can get in there, and that should be sooner than later. We have Nashville that we just finished up. It was January, February, March. It was 20 points. And I don't know why that says March, because it was 3 months, but here are the winners on that. Okay, so those are people that won the Nashville trip, all right? And the bonuses last month, you know, for doing 25, 30, 35, 40 demos. These are the people that won it, even though some of the month was involved with this shutdown. We had Eddie and Kelly that got 2,000, Margot got 1,500, Erica got 1,000. Okay, we had our top dog every month, our top dealer in sales, and that was no other than Margot for her 2nd straight month. She kicked butt, all right? So congratulations to Margot, all right? You know, we do have the Rainbow President's Club ring that you can win in a 90-day period, 3 months. Every person that gets 6 recruits during 3 months, it's a 90-day period. It can be any 90 days. So if it were April, May, and June or whatever, if you get 6 recruits, each one of the recruits does have to sell a rainbow, then you will get the President's Club ring, men's or women's. And so far, we've had 2 people to win that too. Chris and Margot have each won the ring. All right. So congratulations to them. All right. For those of you that are thinking, you know, I'm not sure if people are still buying, I wanted to just let you look at our results for last week. All right. Hang on just a second here. So I'm not able to show you that, but so you can't read it, but we had 148 appointments last week. We demoed the rainbow to 71 families last week. And of those 71, 33 purchased. That is 46% of people that saw the rainbow last week purchased the rainbow. All right. So if you're concerned that people aren't still buying, I just wanted to show you the facts don't lie. All right. But there are some people who were afraid to purchase due to the fact they're concerned about their job. All right. So I'm not going to deny that that is a factor, but I would have hated to seen what it would have been had we not had that going on, right? We did have one dealer last week. Margot showed the rainbow 10 times and sold 8 of them. One of them, I think we could not get approved or whatever. So she ended up leaving 7 of the 8, demoed it 10 times and sold 7 last week. All right. So congratulations again to Margot. All right. All right. So we're not going to go any further with that. I did want to go into a part of the demo real quick. All right, it's my favorite part. So let me just get this off the screen. Okay, so, all right. So the part we're working on today is we're working on the end of the demo, the shampoo and the mop, okay? So when you get done with the demo, I'm not sure what you guys can see, but I want to use the, top of the brown box. That's why when I get my rainbows, I love getting them in the brown box because that way I have 2 boxes and one can serve kind of like a table for my black cloths, right? Because I want to pull 30 dirty cloths every time I show a rainbow, right? So that's definitely should be there is 30 cloths when you get close to the end of the demo, right? Also, I want you to kind of clear the floor out when you get to the end of the demo. That means you want to move the rainbow box, the blue one, all right, to another room. And I like putting my demo kit on top of that and maybe putting it like in the kitchen. So then the whole living room floor is open and available to be vacuumed by the customer, right? Because at the very end, when I'm getting close to the end, I definitely want to, let me plug the cord back up so we don't go dead. But I definitely want to shampoo and mop, but one of the last things that I do as far as them just using the rainbow is, so I'm going to have the customer just using the rainbow and just cleaning, right? The dirt is actually going into the water for the first time, right? And they're vacuuming with the rainbow, and I'm over here behind it, and I'm pushing the machine along with my foot. So that way they don't actually have to tug the hose, right? And then when they back up, I'm pulling it back, because what I don't ever want a customer to do is ever get, and I've had them do this, literally get twisted up in the hose, you know, trying to vacuum a tight area and get caught up. And I've seen them stepping over the hose and all that. That should never happen in a demo because you should be in control of this rainbow, right? So anyway, once you've let them vacuum the living room, and I've had them go down the hallway, we all have, right? And so I'll just turn the rainbow off, and now I got to show them the bad news. I got to show them the dirty water, okay? So when we show them the dirty water, I like to show them how brown it is, right? And then on the bottom of the water down here, I like to lift it up high over my head so that they can see underneath it. And I want them to see all the dirt, sand, and grit, because we've already explained during our demo that the dirt, sand, and grit is what cuts the carpet fiber, right? So I want to show them all the dirt that their machine left in there, right? Then the next thing I want to do is I want to take this. This is what I do. I actually have, and you guys may laugh at this, but I went down to Walmart and I bought a couple of cups years ago, and they're clear tumblers, right? And I will actually take a little bit of this vacuumable dirt, and I just pour it into my cup, okay? So it's a rainbow cocktail, all right? But I explained to them that this is vacuumable dirt. So Casey, this is the dirt that cuts the carpet, okay? This is dirt that cuts the carpet. And so I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of set it off to the side with my evidence over here. You know, I'm building a court case against their machine. You can see now I've got my 30 black cloths and I got my sample of vacuumable water here, right? Now, so what we're going to do next is I'm going to have the customer take the rest of this and I'm going to ask them to just take it and dump it down the toilet. And I tell them I'm going to run outside and grab something. I'll be right back, okay? Now, when I tell them I'm going to go to the car and grab something, the purpose behind that is I don't want them to know that I'm going outside to get the shampooer, all right? Here's why. If you tell them you're going to go to the car and grab the shampooer, you're going to have some customers that say, oh, no, you don't have to show me all that. I know it's good, all right? It's getting late, right? So, you know, I've sold a lot of rainbows because I did the extra step, shampooed and mopped, okay? So, you know, the one thing I want to make sure that everybody understands is a lot of times we don't get the results we want because we're not willing to do the entire demo, okay? So I had someone today that did their 4 o'clock demo and called me at 5:09, finished with their 4 p.m. demo, okay? So you can't do a full demo in an hour, all right? Not a full demo. And she had, you know, gotten leads and all of that. You know, just the lead part takes up to an hour, okay? So this deal is good, 1 hour 45 to 2 hours to do a complete job, and that includes the shampoo and the mop, but you just literally have to do it all. Here's what I figured out a long time ago is I'm not going back to this house. I only have one chance to make a sale, right? And I need them to buy tonight. I don't need them to like it and say I'm going to get one later, but not tonight, because that turns into no paycheck for me, right? You know, it says hand grenades, you know, close don't count. You either do or you don't make the sale, right? So we need to do our jobs, and if we do our jobs, then, you know, we're going to get more sales. So I had them take this and flush it down the toilet, and I'm running the car and I'll grab something I forgot to bring in, right? So that's what I say. I need to go grab something I forgot to bring in. Don't tell them what you're going to get, all right? Just say, I'm running the car, I got to grab something, all right? So they take this, they dump it out, and then you come back in and you're ready to show the shampooer, right? Now, okay, so when they bring the water bowl back in, those of you that have been doing rainbow for a while, you know that they always ask you a question when they bring the water bowl back in, and it's one of two things. Do you want me to wash this out, or do you need some more water? That's the two things they always ask you when you have them dump this, right? So anyway, so just tell them, no, I need to use it dry, and it's fine. So just take it and put it back in the rainbow, empty. Did you see that? I put the rainbow bowl in there empty. See that? No water in it, right? Because when you're going to shampoo and mop, you start with a dry water bowl, okay? Now, when I went to the car, I grabbed the shampoo and the mop, but here's the way it looked when I brought it in, all right? So when I brought it in, I had the shampooer and the mop in here, and I had the water container here. See, it's not in the bag because it's full of water, because I actually fill mine up at my house. That way I don't have to spend time in the house getting water while they sit there, right? So I also already have water in my mop thingy container too, sorry. So it's right here. I already have water in this one too, and it's stuck in the side of the bag, right? So I've got my stuff together, man, right? So when we come in, the first thing I want to show them is I like to show them the Aquamate, right? I say, guys, let me show you the Aquamate. Now, they don't have any idea what an Aquamate is, and that's on purpose. I don't tell them it's the shampooer. I call it the Aquamate, all right? Let me show you the Aquamate, right? And they're wondering, well, what is an Aquamate? Again, they don't have any idea that it's a shampooer, right? So I'll bring it in. I already got my water. I'll just take this and I'll lay it on top of the shampooer. I'll turn this down a little bit where you can see it. So I'm going to pop that down on top of it. Then I'm going to grab my rainbow, which has no water in it, hook up the hose, right? And I'm going to go over here, pop this out, and go right into here now. And now we're ready to shampoo, okay? Now, this shampooer has a couple of different settings on the back here, which confuses people. But if it's all the way flat, that means it's on wash. When it's in the middle, that means it's rinsing, so it's not going to put any soap out. It's just going to put water out. And then when you got the pedal all the way down, it's not going to put any moisture out. It's simply going to suck everything up, right? So we got wash, rinse, dry. Just like your wash machine. It washes, then it rinses, and then it has a spin cycle to dry it, okay? Same thing, okay? So I just get out here with the shampooer. I don't even tell them that. I just say, let me show you Aquamate. I'm going to clean this area right here. I turn it on and I start going. I never ask them, do they want to see it? Is it okay if I do this? I just do it, okay? So you got it on wash. You just pull the trigger and you go back and forth over a good 3 foot by 3 foot area. I don't want you to do a spot. I don't want you to do a stain. I want you to do an area. An area means like 3 foot by 3 foot, about the size of maybe a door, okay? So after I go over the carpet twice with the trigger held down, and I'm putting out shampoo and water. And by the way, I don't have any shampoo in it. It's just water. Y'all know that. But anyway, now I stop and I say, hey guys, so have you ever shampooed your rug? And they'll say no. And I say, well, listen, if you went and rented one or you hired someone to come in and clean your rug, this is literally all they'll do is they'll spray the shampoo in, maybe scrub it a little bit and suck the water back out. The problem with that is this shampoo is still in this carpet, right? Could you imagine if you shampooed your hair, you lathered up the suds, and then you just turned the water off and you left the shampoo in your hair all day, your hair would be sticky, it'd be greasy, right? So that's because shampoo is made out of animal fat. So it's meant to grab dirt. That's why it's got to be a little oily, a little greasy to pull the dirt, right? So stuff sticks to it, right? So if I leave this in here, you know this area is going to get dirty a little quicker than the area that I didn't clean. In other words, I've had people say, I got some Resolve and I sprayed on a stain, I scrubbed it, the stain was gone, and then about a month later it came back. Well, actually what happened was you left soap in there. So every time someone stepped on that, it grabbed the stuff from the bottom of their shoe, and eventually a dirty spot appeared again, right? So the key is you got to rinse it, right? So the shampooer on the Rainbow has a rinse cycle. So we're going to put it right there. Now when I pull the trigger, the only thing it's spraying out is water, and then we're going to suck that back out because what we're trying to do is get all the soap out of the carpet, all right? So let me go over the carpet one more time here. So now I'm going to go over it rinsing. Now, what I like to do right here is I like to say, hey, Mary, come here. And I let Mary do this, right? Because here's what Mary can do. Mary can use the rinse cycle, and all I need her to do is stand here and pull the trigger and go back and forth. So I literally have my customer shampoo their own carpet, okay? So after we've rinsed it like twice, okay, and you can see the black water coming up the front too, by the way. After we went over it twice, then I explained, now I need you to dry it, so we're going to put it all the way down. And every time I go to change that setting, I turn the Rainbow off because I'm going to explain what I'm doing. Now I'm going to put it on dry. So all we're doing now is sucking that water out. We're not putting any more water in, okay? So we're going to dry this carpet. Carpet will dry in about an hour when I'm done. So no more water going in. All we're doing is just drying the carpet, all right? And you know you've got it dry as it's going to get when you don't see any more water come up the front there in the glass, okay? So just go slowly over it and keep talking to them the whole time you're doing it because it makes it look easy when you're talking, right? But if you're not talking to them, it may look hard, right? So anyway, after I've gotten done doing that, okay, I'll turn that off, I'll pop it up, and I'll show them all the dirt, okay? Now, this is always black. It's not brown, it's always black, all right? Even if it's a carpet that's a month old, it's gonna be black. But here's the thing, Brianna, you gotta explain what this is to the customer, right? So I have customers that do not get what this is. So I take this and I'm just gonna pour it in my cup, right? This is my rainbow cappuccino here, all right? This dark. Okay, so I show them that, how black it is. And I say, let me explain what this is. Imagine, Irma, if you put a white shirt down on in front of your doorway at home, right? Where your carpet is. And you walked on that white t-shirt for a whole year. What color would that white shirt be after about a year? It'd be brown or black, wouldn't it? Right? Now, even, Irma, if you vacuumed it every week, what color would the white shirt be after a year? It'd still be brown or black. See, because it would be stained. There's no way to vacuum the stain off the shirt. So the way you would clean the shirt is to put it in the washer and use detergent and water and agitate it, right? Well, see, your carpet's made out of fabric just like a shirt. So it's stained just like a shirt. It's just we can't pick it up and put it in the wash machine, so we have to wash it while it's on the floor. In other words, this is what we call non-vacuumable stain. You cannot vacuum this out of your carpet, not even with the rainbow. You got to shampoo this out. But just let me ask you a question, guys. Which would you want to get rid of? The dirt that cuts your carpet, the dirt that makes your carpet look bad, or both? You know what they're going to say? Well, both. I'll say exactly. Well, guess what? That's why you got to have the shampooer with the rainbow. Now, listen, the shampooer does not come with the rainbow. Remember earlier you called those 4 people, all right, and they're going to watch the demo. Well, when I go do those 4 demos, you're going to get the shampooer. If you want to switch this, instead of getting an air purifier, you can just get the shampooer, okay? But did you know you can mop with the rainbow? Check this out, right? Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the mop. I'm not going to ask them, do they want to see the mop? Hey, guys, would you want me to show you the mop too? Hey, would you want me to mop some of your floor? They'll say, no, we know it's good. It's getting late, right? We've already talked about they're not going to let you do the demo if you ask. You got to just assume it and keep going. You know, I never asked, can I show the dusting brush? I never said, would it be okay if I showed the corner crack and crevice tool? Is it fine if I show you the floor tool? I didn't ask them. I just did it. But yet we think we have to ask them to show. We don't have to ask to show this stuff. You just got to do it, right? So what I'll do is I'll grab my water and I'll pop it down in here, right? And you know, this comes apart here and you just throw it on here. Now, if they have linoleum or linoleum that looks like hardwood, right? I love that stuff, okay? Because I can actually use my brush, right? I love using the brush on those floors, or if they have tile, right? I'm sure a lot of the Hispanic population probably has tile, right? So you can use the bristles on that, right? So you just throw that on there, just like you do the big blue pad, right? And you're just going to get out here wherever you're going to mop. By the way, start with a what? A dry bowl. Make sure there's no water in this, all right? And we already poured that in our cup. And now we're going to go over here. The reason I like the cup, guys, is this emphasizes the difference between vacuumable and non-vacuumable, right? See, you can't get non-vacuumable dirt out unless you have the shampooer. So, and I ask them, I say, which would you want to get rid of? The dirt that cuts your carpet, the dirt that makes your carpet look bad, or both? And they always say, well, both. I say, well, then you got to have the shampooer. The way you get that is just by getting me those 4 demos. Once I demo them, I'll bring you back the shampooer. In other words, you already got that. Once I do the 4 demos, that's yours too, for free, right? So, but let me show you the mop, right? And I'm going to go over here where I'm going to mop. I'm using the bristle head again. Those of you that haven't seen this, it's in the bottom of your bag. So you just get out here wherever you're going to mop. I know this may be hard to see, but when I pull this trigger, it's spraying the solution out. And I explained to them if they like using Pine Sol or Murphy's oil, they can put that in there too, and it'll spray out the same way as water does. But all I do is use water in my demo. So I'm going to wet some of their linoleum or tile real good, okay, because it's not sucking anything up right now. It's literally puddling up. So after I do that, I let off my trigger because I don't want to flood it, and then I scrub the floor a little bit with those bristles. So I explained to them that once a year, my grandmother used to get down on her hands and knees and scrub the floor with a bristle brush, right? So that's what we're doing every time we mop. We're using this bristle. You flip it over now, and you just come towards you, and it sucks all the water up and completely dries the floor bone dry, right? Isn't that pretty cool? Right? Now I might do that a couple times, maybe do a different area, right? Because what I want to do is do enough that I got enough water in the bowl when I'm done so that the water looks dirty. Or so that I got enough to show them too, by the way. If you don't mop enough, then you don't even suck up enough water to be able to show them anything, okay? So I'm going to go over this and suck all this up. Okay? And when I'm done, I literally just want to pop that up. And I want to show them the dirty water from where we just mopped. Okay? Now, a lot of logic can go into here too. So just let me ask you a question, guys. Caitlin, let me ask you, Caitlin, I wouldn't be able to hear if you answer me, but I always use people's first names. So Caitlin, let me ask you a question. You use a mop bucket or you use your sink when you mop? And she'll say, well, we use a mop bucket, right? I'll say, well, think about that. When you mopping, first of all, you're taking your mop that's dirty, you're sticking it in the water, so now the water's dirty, and then you're wringing that dirty water out, and then you're mopping some more with dirty water, then you're taking that dirty mop, sticking it back in the water, now the water's even dirtier, okay, rinse it out, then you wring that dirty water out, and then you take more dirty water and spread it all over your kitchen, right? And then you know what we do? We yell at our kids and say, hey kids, stay off that muddy water in the kitchen until it dries. Okay, we don't think about it. That's really what we're doing. We're letting muddy water just dry on the floor. You notice every time I pulled that trigger, it was just spraying out clean water, and it was just sucking all the dirty water back up, right? So it doesn't really make sense to use mop bucket. Now, so many times too, they'll use a Swiffer mop, and we know how to kill a Swiffer mop. You know, that pad, you're just taking that same pad and just going across the floor, and that grit sticks to that Swiffer, or that mop pad, and then they keep going, and they're basically scratching the floor because there's grit stuck to the pad. Well, see, with the Rainbow, it sucks the grit up, all right, and holds it up to the pad if you use the blue pad. But I love the bristles. It's awesome, and you see how much more water you get too, by the way. So you can use bristles. Just be careful not to scratch someone's hardwood floors by using the bristles. I recommend using the big blue pad, you know, what we call the jet pad, super mop, whatever you want to call it, this big pad here when we're doing the hardwood, all right? But pretty much most everything else, I use that bristle brush, right? So when I get done with that, the next thing I want to show them is, and nobody on here, I bet if I could hear you, I said, okay, what do we do next? You'd probably say, well, I don't know. I guess we show them the price next. There's one more thing I like to do before I do that. And I'm going to put this back in the Rainbow, and I'm just going to take the mop back apart and take this off and set all this to the side. So why am I going to set this together in one area? All right, well, let me explain. Because these two items right here, they're the only two items that I've shown them tonight that does not what? Does not come with the Rainbow, okay? So I want to make sure that they understand that those items right there do not come with the Rainbow. But the way they get those is when I go do those 4 demos that you called at the beginning, that when I actually complete the 4th demo, I'm going to bring you both of those attachments back. So you've already got those. Those are going to be yours for free because you already got me 4 people that are going to let me watch or let me show them, okay? So I'll be bringing you those back soon, all right? So the last thing we teach you to do is to, I like to wash everything out, all right? So you can do it a couple different ways. You can use the pipes, you can not use the pipes, but I grab the Rainmate bowl that has water in it. Grab your Rainmate bowl and just suck the water up. So what I just did, guys, is I showed them the Rainbow sucks up water. So if you have a spill, you have a toilet run over, your washer and dryer, something like that, there's been 1,000 times at our house that we've had to suck up water with our Rainbow, right? And I love it for that, right? You never know when you're going to need that. But what I also did was I washed out my hose. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but I actually am washing out my hose and getting all that muddy water out that might be standing in there. That way the hose, the pipes, and everything are washed out, right? And by just letting it run for a minute here, it actually dries the hose out. When I get done shampooing at my house, I'll take a big glass of water and I'll suck the water out just to wash the hose through. It's always a good idea to do that if you've shampooed or mopped because you have some muddy water standing here, okay? So the Rainmate is going to go over here because that's probably theirs that they got to keep for watching the demo tonight or for the green lights or whatever, right? So all of that is here. Okay. So what you can show them is when you get finished, you can say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, what I love about the rainbow is it just does so much, all right? So one thing that you can do with the rainbow is simply unhook the front of the hose and just turn it on and let it run to clean the air, all right? We have all these different speeds. You can run it 24 hours a day to clean the air. Let it clean the air, all right? When you get ready to vacuum, just turn it up on high, hook the hose into the front, and you're ready to vacuum, all right? When you want to go ahead and mop, you just pull this out right here, go over to this, and now you got a mop, right? If you want to go ahead and shampoo, you just pop this out, go over to here, put it in here. Now you got your shampooer, right? If you want to vacuum your hardwood, you just grab this piece right here, and it's all right here if you want to vacuum your walls. If you want to do your dusting, pop this off. Now you got your dusting brush right here, right? It just does everything in your house, right? If you want to vacuum off your dog or your cat, we have a tool for that too. Go right here. Might want to turn the speed down a little bit, right? You want to clean out your husband's ears, you may want to use this piece, right? Don't ever use this on someone's ears. I'm kidding. That's not good. That's not an earpiece, by the way. This is for inflating. So if you need to blow up a kid's float, balloon, something like that, right? Go back to vacuuming. Again, if you want to just make your house smell good, you just simply pop your fragrances in the front, let it run, freshen the home, okay? It just does everything, okay? So once you show them everything and how versatile it is, now it's time to show them the price of the rainbow, okay? Does that kind of make sense? So that's a good value building demo. At the end of the demo, I should have 30 black cloths. I have 2 cups of water. I have all my optional accessories in one pile, right? My rain mate that they're probably getting tonight anyway for posting or for getting 4 green lights and all that. And the rainbow, I like to have it displayed, right? Like it would be if it were in a store, in a retail store, right? One thing is super important, that everything in your demo kit, all of this stuff right here, has got to be back in your demo kit, okay? Like, I'll never forget, I did a demo. It's been years and years ago. I had all these attachments, all this crap. I had all of this. I had a harmonica. I had it all laying everywhere. When I got done with the demo, I had fragrances. They were all dumped out, right? And the floor was an absolute disaster. When I got done with the demo, everything was apart. And you know what she said? She said, that thing's got too many parts. I would never figure out how to use all that, all right? She was an older lady, all right? And so what I figured out right there was my demo, the end of my demo, I looked around and the room looked messy and it looked complicated. And so I learned from her that day that things have to look simple, all right? So it's better if everything that goes in your kit's back in your kit. The only thing that's on the floor is the rainbow displayed like it's in a showroom window, because there's nothing about that that looks complicated, right? They know how easy it is to use the rainbow, okay? So when I get done with that, now I'm going to show the price, all right? So I've got a couple of tips real quick. We've been going through all week on showing the price properly, do's and don'ts of that. And so, wow, what's going on here? Hold on. Ryan, hang on. Hang on, sorry. Okay. So what I want to show you was this document on closing. Okay. So hopefully you guys can read that, but it says have the rainbow displayed. Have the rainbow displayed so it looks simple and easy to use. Make sure that they can see all the dirt that you pulled during the demonstration, 25 plus cloths. Number 1 again, always give the customer a frame of reference. Okay, we got to go over that. Okay, assume to sell. These are just general things, okay? Assume to sell. Tell them what the other machines cost. Don't stop talking. This gives them a chance to interrupt you. Be confident. People want to do business with someone who is confident. Sit close to the customer during the closing. Always have a pen in your hand during the closing. Always do the 20-year comparison sheet. If you forget and you're out and you're on a demo, that doesn't mean you can't take a scratched piece of paper and just figure it up. I mean, I'm sure most everybody can remember what it asked for, how many vacuum cleaners they're going to buy in the next 20 years, how many filters, candle sprays, plug-ins, carpet replacement. What else is it? Having your carpet shampooed or renting one. And always have a credit application nearby, right? So what we always teach to do is take the credit app and take it out of the little envelope. And that way I'm ready because I anticipate having to use the credit app tonight. It's not something that would surprise me if I made a sale, okay? So, if you're not confident, I'm telling you, man, you got to expect a sale, right? So I'm gonna have a credit app handy, all right? So let me go over some mechanics, all right? I want to skip because we've been doing this all week. We could hit real quick. It says go over the cost of the other machines, all right? So before I show the price of the rainbow, right? There is a page in here, by the way, that is this one where it shows what the other machines, how they rank. Now, when I cover that, it's got these other vacuum cleaners named down here, Bissell, Hoover, Kirby, Electrolux, and all that. So when I get ready to show them that, hang on. When I get ready to show the price, I will cover this page first, okay? So many times I've shown people the $32.98 price and they've said, oh my God, right? And the reason for that is they've just not used to a vacuum cleaner. They've never seen a vacuum cleaner that costs more than like $200 or $300 because they're Walmart people, and nothing wrong with that. But if the most expensive vacuum cleaner they've ever seen is a Walmart vacuum cleaner, I think Walmart's got them up to maybe $500. But so if they think the most expensive vacuum cleaner they've ever seen is like a Shark or a Dyson, $600, and then you do a well of a demo and they love the rainbow and they're like, I want to get it, and that's probably at least $800. So they're thinking you're going to show them the rainbow is $800 here. The reason they're thinking $800 is because they've never seen a machine that costs more than $500. That kind of makes sense. So on the other hand, let's say you're going on a demo and they've got a Kirby and they paid $3,500 for the Kirby 8 years ago, and all the way through that demo they're loving the rainbow and they're seeing the rainbow's a lot better than their Kirby. They're probably thinking the rainbow's $5,000, right? So the difference is they have already had experience with a premium vacuum, right? So before I ever show the $32.98, and I'm covering this page right here, I always say, guys, real quick, let me show you this, and I'll be out of y'all's way if you don't mind just having a seat, and let me show you this one little thing, because after we get done sucking the water out of a rainmate bowl, I set it up like I just showed you, and now I say, can y'all have a seat real quick? I'll show you one more thing, and I'm going to be getting out of your way, all right? And I say, guys, our company hired an independent company to research our customers and see how people with rainbows like them. Check this out. For families with allergies, over 90% recommend the rainbow to other families with allergies. 93% of rainbow owners rank the rainbow as a good investment, and 94% of rainbow owners rank the rainbow superior to their old vacuum at removing dirt and allergies. Now, if you look, all these vacuum cleaners, right? We have Hoover, we have Kirby, Eureka, all the numbers are in the 90s. You'll see that all the numbers are in the 90s. You know what that tells us? See, all of these machines use a bagger or filter, and they all clog up in 15 minutes and lose half their cleaning ability. And all of these machines blow half of what they pick up back out. So they're all the same. But this tells me, since all the numbers are in the 90s, that a bagger or filter machine is a bagger or filter machine is a bagger or filter machine. All these machines are the same. They all don't work, right? So let me ask you this before I show you the price of the rainbow. Have you heard the price of a Kirby before? Have you ever heard of a Kirby? And they might say, yes, I know about a Kirby, or no, I've never heard of a Kirby, or whatever. I'll say a new Kirby today is about $3,500. And again, it uses bags that you have to buy every month. and they clog up and they emit the dirt and dust out just like your shark does. Have you ever heard of Electrolux? And they may or may not have heard of that, but they're about $3,800. Again, you got to buy bags and filters for the Electrolux, and they clog up and they leak too. So let me ask you this. Knowing the Electroluxes are 38 and the Kirby's are 35, just asking, Bill, what do you think the Rainbow costs? It doesn't use bags and filters, and it actually cleans. What do you think? If you did a good value build demo, Bill will say $4,000, all right? So I say, well, this first price I'm going to show you, it is the retail price, but hang on just a second, all right? So the Rainbow with all the standard attachments is $3298.90, but let me ask you guys a couple questions. Now, this is where we are always flip over here and grab the 20-year sheet, okay? This is what we talked about. You have to do the 20-year sheet. So what is the purpose of the 20-year sheet? It's to show the customer that even if they don't get a Rainbow, they're going to end up paying for one whether they get it or not, right? So I know people don't want to spend the money, but I'm going to tell you the truth. If you show them they're going to spend the money either way, then it's a no-brainer to me that they need to get a Rainbow. If they tell me, Brianna, they can't afford a Rainbow, I'll say you're already affording a Rainbow. If they say, and I'm not sure if it's a good time, so it doesn't matter if it's a good time or not. You're already spending the money anyway, right? They tell me coronavirus, I understand, but you're still spending the money anyway, right? Whatever their objection, the 20-year sheet can help you take care of that. I'll never forget, I was in a house, my husband looked at the wife and said, what do you think, honey? And she said, I don't know, it's up to you. I like it, but I don't want to make the decision. I'm leaving it up to you. He says, no, I don't want to make the decision. I said, guys, listen, you're trying to decide whether you should spend the money or not. That's not the decision you have to make, because you're going to spend the money whether you get it or not. The only thing you got to decide is if you had the Rainbow, would you use it, Mary? And she said, well, of course. I said, well, no one should use it, Tom. I know you wanted to have it. The only question I have is which way do you want to do it? Do you want to do the $100 down or $200 down? And so I'm just assuming it. You got to help them make a decision. But the 20-year sheet will help you if you will not be lazy and not shortcut this deal and whole demo, okay? Have I ever been lazy? Yes. Okay, it happens to us. It's human nature to shortcut, I think, particularly when you're tired of doing it. Do you know how many meetings like this I've done in 31 years? A lot. And I got to psych myself up before I do this, okay? So look, you got to psych yourself up and know this is the first time they've seen this. Maybe the last time. Maybe you've done it 1,000 times, but you got to get excited for them because they've never seen it. So anyway, once I do the 20-year sheet, and you know how I do that, I say, let me ask you a question, Mary. You already told me earlier you spend $30 a month buying candles, right? So $30 times 12, that's $360, right? And over 20 years, that's $7,200. That's amazing, isn't it? How candles add up to you spend $7,200 in candles, right? That is crazy. That was deodorizers. That was supposed to be on number 2. Sorry. So I would flip-flop them. I'd say allergies. You already told me that you guys are spending money on Zyrtec and Claritin right now with this pollen, right? And I know it's seasonal. So, and I can't say the Rainbow is going to keep you from, your eyes being irritated, go outside. So I'm going to put a 0 right there. But new vacuum cleaners. How many vacuum cleaners you all had in the last 10, 20 years? And they might say, well, just in the last 5, we've had 2. So in the next 20 years, how many would you think you'd buy? And they might say, well, 5. And what'd you spend on those vacuums? Well, we spent about $200. So that's $1,000 if you bought 5 of them at $200, right? Then vacuum bags and filters. Now, you said earlier that you needed to change your filters, that you never changed your filters, and you need to change the filter because it's completely stopped up, clogged up, and it's gross. So if you just replace the filter once a year, though the manufacturer recommends you change it twice a year, but we understand you need to change it every 15 minutes because it clogs in 15 minutes. But if you just did it once a year, $30 a set over 20 years, 30 times 20, $600. So you're going to spend $600 on filters, Tom. And let me ask you this, carpet shampooing. Y'all said you've never cleaned these rugs, right? But let me ask you, after seeing how black the water was where we shampooed, that we got that non-vacuumable dirt, do you agree you need to shampoo your carpet? And they're going to say, yeah, we need to do that. So if you didn't have the Rainbow, what would you do? Would you go rent one or would you hire it done? Most people are going to say we're going to go rent, right? If you rent one at Walmart, not Walmart, well, I guess Walmart, or Lowe's or Home Depot or Ingles, grocery store has them, I know. And by the time you rent them and buy the soap, you're going to spend about $50 if you just did it once a year for 20 years. That's $1,000 right there, right? And I've been in homes, y'all, where they own a shampooer. They have a Bissell shampooer. Well, what I do right there is I say, let me ask you this. Would you agree that Bissell shampooer isn't going to last 20 more years? And they'll say, well, yeah, probably not. So you buy one more shampooer probably in the next 20 years, right? Okay, so that's $200. What'd you pay for that? $200. So I get at least put $200 there, right? So anyway, and the last thing you want to ask them is right here. You want to say, just let me ask you this. Would you agree the dirt is cutting your carpet fiber? Or would you agree the dirt is scratching these hardwoods? Whatever it is they've got, I say, do you agree that the dirt is going to ruin the floors? See, that goes back to during your demo, you had to put the grit on the piece of cardboard and scratch the fragrance bottle and show them how grit cuts, all right? And then you talk about how it's ruining your carpet and how you're going to get your floors all scratched up. So if you did that during your demo, now when you talk about that, they will understand what you mean and they'll say, yeah, we've got to get the grit up or we're going to have these hardwoods refinished. And I say, what would it cost you to have your hardwoods refinished? And they'll have no idea because most people have never done that. And I say at least $1,000 to $2,000. So we'll just put $1,000, right? So if we add all that up, that's 36. That is $10,800 that you guys are going to spend, even if I hadn't got out here tonight to do your demo. Like if we'd never met, you guys would have still wrote a check for $10,000, little by little, many checks, many swipes of the credit card, but you would have spent over $10,000 even if I hadn't come out here tonight, right? Guys, the rainbow is only $32.98. Let me ask you this. If the rainbow were $5,000, it would be a better deal than spending what you're already spending. But the rainbow's not $5,000, right? In fact, if you do business with us tonight, it's actually on sale, and then you show them your sale price, right? And then flip on over and then show them we have a monthly payment plan, okay? So I know your monthly payment plan is a little different than mine, so let me take mine out. I don't want to confuse anybody, all right? So I will then show them what our monthly payment plan runs. Our lowest payment is like $84 if they put $100 down, right? And then I'll show them that. And I'll say, hey, guys, this is what we did. We did our monthly payment plan because it was only $87 a month, right? But the main thing is the rainbow wouldn't be worth a nickel, Bill and Mary, is if you had it, if you never would use it. So Mary, I just got to ask you, if you had the rainbow, would you use it? And she's going to say, well, of course. I'll say, well, Tom, knowing Mary's going to use the rainbow, only question I have for you is, would you help her get it? And which way is going to work best? Would you want to do cash, check, credit card, or a monthly payment plan? So I say, Mary, if you had it, would you use it? And she's going to definitely say, yeah. And I say, well, Tom, knowing Mary's going to use it, I know you to help her get it. So the only question I have for you is, which way is going to work best? Cash, check, credit card, or a monthly payment plan? And we always teach to look down at the book. Don't make eye contact with the customer when you ask them that. Say which way is going to work best and just look down, right? So why do we want to be assumptive there, right? So here's the reason. You know, if you're confident and you're selling, this is how you present it. If you're not selling and you don't even expect to sell one tonight. I got people that haven't sold one now and they've done 7 or 8 demos in a row. I'm sure on the way to their demo, first of all, they're probably hoping the customer ain't even home, right? I hope these people ain't home tonight, okay? Because I don't want to have to take the rainbow out of the box because I know I'm not going to make a sale, right? See, they're so negative in their mind that they don't even need to be on a demo. They need to ride with somebody and see somebody who's positive, somebody who's confident, sell a rainbow, right? So again, we had Margot last week, sold 8 rainbows in a week, okay? So, you know, it's confidence. But if that dealer did get out there, that dealer that I was telling you that hasn't sold one in 7 or 8 demo, and they're on a demo right now, you know they don't think the people are going to buy it. So when they get to the end of the demo, yeah, they might eventually show the payment plan, and then they probably stop and say, well, Mary, I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, would y'all like to maybe get one tonight? I mean, that's going to be how they're going to ask for the order because they don't even expect a yes. See, they're just really expecting the no. Okay, go ahead and tell me no, right? And because of what's in their mind, they're going to say this different. But Margot, for instance, that sells almost everyone she shows, she sold 2 yesterday, by the way. If Margot goes on a demo, she doesn't know any better. She thinks everybody buys a rainbow. So when she gets to the end of the demo, she's expecting a yes because everybody's saying yes when she does the demo. So when she gets to the end, she just says, so guys, which way do y'all want to do it? Do y'all want to do the payment plan? That's just how she does it. Why? Because she expects a yes. Now, if you said to Margot, how do you show the price? Which way do you do it? She'd say, I don't know. I never really paid attention to what I do there. I don't know. I don't remember, right? See, it's subconscious. She expects a yes, and because she expects a yes, she says this different. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but you know, if you go in there with the attitude, you know you're going to get a sale. Yes, you are going to say things differently. You might not realize it, but you are. So listen, if we know that a negative attitude causes you to say things with less confidence, like, what do y'all think, guys? Would you like to get a rainbow? I mean, did you like it? Or that's what somebody who's not confident would say. But somebody who expects a yes is going to simply say, so which way do y'all want to do it? You want to do the payment plan like everybody else? See, again, it's going to be a subconscious. You're not even going to realize you said it that way. So if that's true, and it is, if we know that's true, why don't you practice at home on your husband or on your wife? Practice this. Mary, if you had it, would you use it? Knowing that, Tom, the only question I have for you is, would you help her get it? And which way is going to work best? Cash, check, credit card, or the payment plan here? Most people just do the payment plan. That's what we did. Why don't you just practice saying it that way? That way, when you go on a demo, you just say it that way, right? And I'm telling you, because you're saying it that way, you are going to get more yeses than nos, okay? You know, whether you believe this or not, it is possible and probable that you should sell more than 50% of your demonstrations. Not a hope, not a prayer, not if all things work out, let me cross my fingers, right? No, you have control of this. Now, I know you don't have control if they're laid off. You can't control that, right? But you do have control of the ones that aren't laid off. You do have some say in that, but your attitude, the way you say things. I'll never forget, I went with a guy, he hadn't sold one in a few, and he got here, and I don't know what he said, but the customer said, we'll take it, and we'll do the $100 down. You know what he said? He literally looked at the customer and said, really? He literally was surprised when the customer said they would buy it. See, that's what kind of attitude he had. He was literally expecting a no. So is your thinking screwed up? You know, old saying is you got stinking thinking and need a checkup from the neck up, right? So if that's your case, why don't you just simply practice this at home? This isn't rocket surgery, right? You just got to learn a few little basic tips. And listen, they didn't teach you this at high school. They didn't teach you this over at the community college. They didn't teach you this on your online classes. They didn't teach you this at your other job. They don't teach you this anywhere, all right? This is not something you should just know. It's something, though, that you can learn, right? And there's 2 ways to learn it. One is do what I did and go do a lot of demos, blow a lot of sales, miss a lot of customers that you could have sold, and you figure this crap out that I've just got to say it differently, right? Or you can go ahead and say, this guy's already blown all those sales. Why don't I just take his advice and he can save me from blowing a bunch of sales? You know, people laugh when I say this, but doctors 100 years ago killed patients in an effort to learn how to treat a patient. How do you think they learned what a ventilator is and what drugs stimulate your immune system and which ones suppress your immune system? How do you think those things were learned? By trial and error, right? Well, look, we're not talking about killing people here, but I'm already telling you, I've already missed sales. I've killed sales, right? Why don't you just learn? You know, now they have what's called medical school, where people go and learn how to not kill patients from all the patients that sacrificed their lives through the years to teach and the doctors learn from. This is no different. I'm trying to get you to learn from the 84 years that Rexair's been in business, just like I did. People taught me, and I learned the hard way. And so anyway, I can promise you stayed in Rainbow 5 years and never watched an advanced training class and learned this in the field for 5 years, you could do the same meeting I'm doing. And you would be teaching it the same way I'm teaching it, because you'd come to the same conclusions that I came to. And that is, you got to ask for the order in a specific way. All right. So anyway, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to add to that before we, okay. You know, so I got go over the cost of the Kirby's and electrolytes. You know what I mean now. Show the price, complete the 20-year sheet, and ask them which one makes more sense. Spend $10,000 to keep the dirt, or go ahead and spend a lot less and get rid of it. And then explain to the customer that it's on sale tonight. Let's go on past that. And then we'll just skip on, because there's a lot of detailed information here that I don't want to get bogged down into. Show all the different payment options, and then ask for the sale. And here it is. If you had it, would you use it? And ask him, knowing that she'd use it, I'm sure you'd help her get it, and which way worked best, and look down at the book and wait. Okay. So common questions you get when you're looking down at the book and waiting is, well, what's the interest rate? Is there interest in that? I could tell you 100 times people have gotten their phone out and their calculator and started adding up 48 times $84.63. Oh my gosh, that's 3,000 and some dollars. You know, so when I see they start doing that, I say, guys, or if they ask me, what's the interest rate? I say, I'm glad you asked that, right? So the interest breaks down to about $20 to $25 to $30 a month. Depends on whichever month plan you go with. And most of the time I say 20, 25 a month. All right, it's already figured into the payment for you, and there's no prepayment penalty, right? In other words, like, though this payment is 84, doesn't mean you couldn't pay 100. Doesn't mean you couldn't send in 150 some month. Almost every bit of the extra money you send in every month goes straight toward the principal, and it pays off early. Like I said, there is no prepayment penalty. In fact, you can pay it off with a tax refund, a bonus at work, overtime, something like that. We paid our Rainbow after, like, I think it was our second tax refund. We just paid our Rainbow off, okay? Hardly nobody pays on it for 48 months, all right? So let's take a time out in just a second. So I gave a positive answer to that question. See, so many times when the customer asks, what's the interest rate, the dealer will say, well, I think it's like 20%. Well, as you know, 20% is a high interest rate. But why does it need to be 20%? Well, the bank is only loaning, $3,000 here. Well, listen, if you loan $3,000 at 5%, that isn't but like $200 interest. Would you loan a friend $3,000 for 4 years and only make $200 interest? I wouldn't. It isn't even worth my time, right? But would you loan $3,000 to make $1,000? Well, that I might, if it was 4 years, right? So that's why the interest rate has to be 20%. But see, if you buy a car and you borrow $30,000 at 5%, the bank still makes like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 interest. So that's worth their time doing. See, everything's relative. How much is the bank loaning here? It's a very small amount, so they have to jack the interest rate up where they get a good return, right? So anyway, we can't do anything about the interest. So, but I don't like answering the question with 20%. So the answer I found that sounds the best is it's about $20 to $25 a month. It's already figured into the payment for you. But the good thing about that is there is no prepayment penalty. So you certainly could pay it off early. Like if you get a tax refund or bonus at work or overtime, you can pay it off early. Or you can just send in like an extra $20 a month. And when you send in extra, almost every bit of that $20 would go straight towards your principal, right? So it pays it off early, and there's no prepayment penalty or anything like that. Now I'll take a time out. So when I answer that question, if you'll notice, it was a very long answer. The reason for it being a long answer, let me give you an example of a short answer. So it's about $20, $25 a month. The problem with that short answer is they're going to ask you the question again. But what is the interest rate? See, they'll ask you for a second time. Now you got to tell them 20%. So to avoid them ever asking me the question a second time, I give them a longer answer. And that is, what's about $20, $25 a month. The good thing about it is it's already figured into the payment for you. So it's no prepayment penalty or anything like that. So if you wanted to send in an extra $20 a month, almost every bit of that $20 you send in over goes straight towards your principal. So if you get a bonus at work, overtime at work, a tax refund, something like that, you can just pay the rainbow off. You don't have to sit there and pay it for 48 months. We paid our rainbow off like our second tax refund. Hardly nobody pays on the rainbow for 48 months, okay? So now by the time I get done answering it, they forget what they even asked me, right? So, but anyway, after I answer the question, I'm hearing they're interested or they wouldn't have asked me that. I'm also hearing that they would do a payment plan or they wouldn't have asked me about the interest rate, right? So that's pretty common sense. So once I answer that question and say, hardly nobody pays on it for 48 months. So again, you definitely can pay it off early. But let me do this. Let me get this information on this app real quick. And let me just get you guys qualified for that. Are you thinking the $100 down or what are you thinking? All right, can y'all still hear me?
Yes.
Bluetooth stop. All right. So I'll say, let me just get some information on the credit app then, and let me get you qualified. Are you thinking the 48? Okay, awesome. So why am I grabbing a credit app now? Well, because you asked me what's called a buying question. So what does that mean? Well, a buying question means I'm interested. So there's a whole list of them. One is, what is the interest rate? That's definitely a buying question. Another would be, what all comes with it? Well, that's a buying question. Do we get any fragrances with it? That's definitely a buying question. Well, if we buy it, would this be the one we would keep, or would you bring us a new one back, or how's that work? Well, that's a buying question. You know, how do we get the shampoo or the mop? That's a buying question. Or what's your best cash price? I mean, that's a buying question. Can we put $500 down? Well, that's a buying question, right? You know, all these are buying questions, right? So when they ask a buying question, that is an indicator that they're interested, right? So the golden rule of thumb is you get a buying question, you answer it, and then you grab a credit app. That's what you do, right? So that's what you do, right? So when I answered that question about the interest rate, so I say, guys, let me go ahead and get you qualified for that real quick. Would you want to put it, Tom, you want to put it in your name or both, or how do you want to do it? Okay, and I just assume it, right? Guess what? If they're not going to buy, they'll tell you they're not going to get it, right? Oh, no, we were just asking about the interest rate. Oh, okay, all right. So you got to be a good listener, and you got to assume they're getting the rainbow, right? And those were questions. Is it a brand new rainbow? Yeah, all our machines are brand new. We do demonstrate them. Maybe this one's been demoed once or twice, but I am meticulous about cleaning it up. That's what I say. How do we get shampoo and mop? The answer is when we complete your 4 demos. Do we get any of those fragrances? They don't come with it. But I tell you what I'll do. Mary, you liked the orange, didn't you? Bill, what? You liked the eucalyptus, was it? Guys, I'll tell you what. They don't come with the rainbow. I'll tell you what I'll do. Just so you have everything you need, I'll go ahead and I'll just throw these in, right, out of my pocket. And I'll reach out and hand them to them. They're going to take them, right? And I say any more that you need, you can call me, and I'll run them back out when I'm in this area, okay? So let me go ahead and get you qualified for that. You want to do the payment, right? So real quick, what's your address out here, guys? It's all about just being assumptive, right? And, you know, if you think about it, if you did a fast start, you rode with a trainer, this is how they did it, right? And you might not have noticed it because you were just really new and you were just trying to figure out where the water went in the rainbow at that point, right? But, you know, this is what they did. They just assumed they were getting it, right? How does your credit have to be in order to qualify, right? That could be a question they might ask. You see it there on the screen. So how good's the credit got to be, right? I say, well, listen, it's not just your credit. They look at a lot of different factors. I mean, you're working, right? Great, you got a job. You guys, you know, got your own home here. Let me just do this. Let me just see if I can't get you qualified. What is your address? I mean, I just want to get a credit app. I've had 100 people say, oh, you're not going to get me qualified. And you know, when I called the bank, not only did I get them qualified, but they had really good credit, but they had a couple of doctor bills. And they thought, well, we've ruined our credit because we owe doctor bills. You know, what they don't know is banks don't hold doctor bills against you. And I'm not saying anybody here shouldn't pay their doctor bills, but you should pay your credit card bills before you pay your doctor bills, in my opinion, because those are held against you with banks, right? So anyway, that's what it says after answering your buying question. Go back to the initial question, which way works best, right? Now, if I ask you, whose name you want to put it in, or which way is going to work best, and you guys told me, well, we like it, we just can't get it right now, then what we teach to do is ABC. We teach you to agree with them, to understand when they say they can't get it. I try to be a good listener. I literally focus on what they're saying, and I want to be a good listener, right? And I want to look back and forth at them, and then I want to say, well, I understand. Oh my gosh, that's crazy, right? So whatever it is they're telling me, I listen, and I start laying my book down. Oh, okay. I might even take my pen, y'all. This is important. And I drop it. What does that say when I drop my pen and I lean back? I'm done. I understand you're not getting it, right? It's super important that you not keep leaning forward and keep trying to sell it. When they say they can't do it, now, there's a difference in, I'm not sure if we can do it right now. That is one that you shouldn't give up on yet. But if they say we absolutely can't, that's totally different. I want you to lean back, drop your pen, kind of get a relaxed pose going on, and just understand and be compassionate. And I like to use two words, feel and felt. So that's F-E-E-L and F-E-L-T. And that is, I understand how you feel, guys. And I got to be honest with you, if I felt that way, I'd probably just hold off tonight too. So let me just get some stuff up and get out of your way, okay? And then that's when I want to stand up and I go back over here, and maybe I want to start wrapping up my demo light, and it looks like I'm packing up and I'm getting ready to pack up, right? So why do we do that? Well, what we want to do is we want to put the customer at ease that we're not going to try to pressure them, right? It's super important that you understand and agree that you understand how they feel, right? And then back off, okay? And I start packing the rainbow up. Now, don't pack the rainbow up. Again, new people want to pack the rainbow up. I don't know how many times I've been on a fast start with a new recruit, and the customer says no, and they start literally trying to put the rainbow in the box. I'm like, no, don't put the rainbow in the box yet. Hold on, okay? I'm just making it look like I'm packing up, okay? But I can't say that from the, so anyway, so you want to make it look like you're packing up, wrapping that light up right over there. And anyway, while I'm wrapping the light up, so I say, y'all really like the rainbow, huh, Bill, Mary? Out of everything I showed you, Bill, what was your favorite thing about the rainbow? And he might say, I just like the way it got the dirt up. And, because Tom, or Bill, you understand it's got to have airflow now, right? And you understand that a bag or filter vacuum cleaner like your Shark there has no airflow, right? Mary, what was the thing you liked best about the rainbow? She might just say, I like the way it made the house smell, or I like the way it cleaned the air, or I like the fact I don't have the dust, or I like the mop. Whatever it is she said she liked, I say, you know what? I think that was my wife's favorite thing too. She loved the way it mopped too. But guys, it sounds like you really like the rainbow. And they'll say, yeah, we love it. And I'll say, well, let me ask you this. Be honest with me. Is that the only reason you're not getting the rainbow tonight? Is just the bad timing right now? And they'll say, yeah, we loved it. And if it wasn't for that, we would have gotten it. I say, well, I understand. So you're saying that's the only thing keeping you from getting the rainbow, right? And they say, yeah, that's the only thing. And I literally reach out and shake his hand, and I thank him for being honest with me, right? And not telling me some bogus reason. Thank you for being honest with me and telling me the real reason why you're not getting it tonight, right? Now, what we did there is we confirmed the objection. See, if I can get that objection down to one thing, right, then I can overcome that. But if I never confirm that that's the only thing keeping you from getting it, so there's no other reason why you wouldn't get it. That'd be the only thing. Okay, I appreciate your honesty. And we shake on it.
Deferred payment, where I can push his first payment out past all that. Okay, so if I can defer his payment past all that and then come right back to let me get you qualified and grab my credit app again, I can get that sale, right? So how that would look was I say, I appreciate you being honest with me and tell me the real reason you can't get to Rainbow. Let me call the office. Now, I like to call the office here. And when I call the office, I like to tell them what's going on, that they love the Rainbow. She's got a shark. We got a ton of dirt. They have dogs, so we got a lot of pet hair. And like I said, they have a shark. And I got a lot of dirt. They love the Rainbow. They have allergies in the home. I mean, the kids even love the Rainbow. The little girls promised she'd do all the cleaning from now on if they had the Rainbow, and they just love it all. But we've hit them at a bad time right now. So here's the deal. I want you, when you call me, to talk about how much they love the Rainbow, not tell me about their problems for 10 minutes and why they can't afford it. And they're worried about their jobs, and they have a daughter, that's got braces that she needs. And then we got another one in private school. I don't need to hear about all the problems, because you got to remember, when you're telling me on the phone all their problems, you're also reminding them, because they can hear you. You're also reminding them your life is crap. I mean, you got all these problems. Did y'all know how bad your life was? I mean, so, you don't mean to do that. So you don't literally recap all the negatives out loud. You just tell me that, we just got one small problem after you tell me how much they love it, how much dog hair you got up, and they're using a shark and they really love it, and the daughter's got allergies. And that's what I want you to talk about for a good 30 seconds before you say, but we got one little problem. We've hit them at a bad time, but they're saying they could definitely do this thing in maybe August or September. And I know that once I leave, the price goes up. And I just wanted to ask you, is there anything we could do to hold that price for them till maybe August? Because they can definitely get one in August, but I don't want to see them have to pay the higher price. And I know that when I pack it up, the price goes up. So you're literally going to ask us, can we hold the price till August? Well, we're going to say no to you on the phone when you ask us that. But then we're going to tell you about a new option we got, or an option we got is the 3 months deferred, and you're going to act surprised. Really? So what now? How does that work? So when would their first payment be? Oh, that's unbelievable. That's awesome. Well, that'll help them out. I didn't know and maybe you don't say that because maybe that's not true to say, hey, I didn't know we could do that, so maybe don't say that because you might know about it now. So, but you can say, hey, that's awesome. Let me give them the good news because they didn't know we could do that. All right, let me tell them about that. All right, awesome. Thank you. All right. Then you want to get off the phone and what I like to do is I like to get off the phone and say, Mary, congratulations. I just got y'all the Rainbow, right? Let me tell you what my boss said I could do, right? I literally say, congratulations. I got you the Rainbow, right? So here's what it is. And I sit down with my paper and I write down two things. I write down the higher price. Ours is $32.98.90. Then I write down the tonight price. And ours again, let's just say ours is $26.98.90. All right. So I show them, I say, listen, the price tonight is $26.98.90, but if you wait and buy it in August, I have to charge you $32.98. And there's no way my boss can actually hold that. I just asked him. But what he said we could do is he said we can set you up where you can get you a Rainbow tonight with no money down. And check this out. We can do no money down tonight. Hang on just a second. 48 or 109, 36. So here's what he said we could do. We set you up, get you a Rainbow tonight. That way you saved us $600 on a Rainbow tonight. Now next month, which is May, again, you would, first of all, no money down. Next month, which is May, you wouldn't pay anything. The next month, which is June, you wouldn't pay anything. And in July, you wouldn't pay anything. But in August, when y'all said you could get the Rainbow anyway, we just pick up and you can either do $87 for 48 months, or we can do the 109 for 36. And again, I suggest the 87 because again, it's a lower payment. And if you want to pay extra, you certainly could. Okay. But I guess again, the main thing is, Mary, if you had it, would you use it? Knowing that, Tom, let me just get you qualified for that, and I'll get you no payments to August. What is your address out here, guys? Now, again, I just got to assume they're getting the Rainbow. But if you'll notice, what I actually did was I used their objection to sell them. In other words, I said no payments in May, nothing due in June, nothing due in July. And then in August, when you guys said you could get the rainbow anyway, we just pick up. Your payments would either be $87 for 48 or $109 for 36. Okay. But again, I'd recommend doing the 87. That way you can pay extra. But I guess the main thing is, Mary, if you had it, you use it, right? So knowing that, Tom, let me get you qualified for that. What is your address out here? And then I'm just going to assume it and look down and wait, right? Now, what again, and I'm done. I got like 30 more seconds here. So when I first started doing this, I could do this part right, and I could offer it to them, but then I had the habit of saying, what do you think? Would that work for y'all? I just had this thing in my mind where I wouldn't just assume it and say, let me get the credit app out and let me get you qualified for that. Tom, what is y'all's address? But the first time I ever did that, y'all, they didn't get mad at me. They didn't buy, but they didn't get mad, which was my fear, right? And they didn't feel pressure because they saw I was trying to help them, right? They actually thanked me for trying to help them, but then said no again, right? But about the third time I looked down at, like the third demo I did, where I did this, I said, what's your address? Let me get you qualified for that deferred payment. They gave me the address and I made a sale, okay? So listen, nothing I'm gonna teach you is gonna work every time, but I promise you, if you'll practice this at home, it'll work a lot of the time, okay? So thank you guys. Y'all stay safe out there, and we will see you guys again either in the office or on Tuesday at our next meeting, okay?
All right.
Guys.
Toodles. Bye.
Bye.